For joining me. My name is Omni, and today I wanted to talk about Dungeons and Lasers, a modular dungeon set that had both fantasy and sci-fi available. The Kickstarter ended on August 27th of 2019, and the base sets started at $40. They had a companion set, which was also priced at $40, and came with 24 individual minis. They also had expansion rooms for each set. Both sci-fi and fantasy each had 3 separate rooms that were available for purchase. If you pledged an amount that got you both the companions and the base set, it was $100. It came with the companion set, the base set, and also 3 additional rooms for $100. This is $20 cheaper than you would have been able to pick up. You essentially got a free room from it. Even with the state of the world, the company was still able to produce and ship on time the core set along with the expansion rooms. I received my set in July, and since then I have actually had time to play with them and get familiar with them and see what I liked and what I didn't, which is what I would like to go over in this video. Things off with the items, you wound up getting the core set, which comes with 12 long walls, 23 short walls, 15 small floors, 10 long floors, and 6 doorways. It covers, I believe, 24-inch square section if you were to build everything in a giant square. It also came with the connector system along with termination clips. The way that it works is you have your floor tile. This is one of the long ones. You have a short one, and then you also have a connector that looks like this. And down on the bottom, all you're doing is you are clipping in here and then clipping in here, and you get a really nice solid strong hold on that. You then have the rooms themselves, the walls themselves, which are set up like this. You can either plug them right into this hole here and have your interior walls like that, or they come with the terminations, which only has one hole and then one for the wall, and you're able to put that in and then stick your wall on. And they do make a nice strong connection. They are held in. I was setting up individual rooms, putting them on the table and connecting them as we played. I've only had the ability to play one session live since everything has happened, and I've received these. The additional rooms, each one came with 3 long walls, 6 short walls, 3 small floors, 3 long floors, and 3 doorways, all themed towards what they were. They had the Warlock room, they had the Torture chamber, and they also had the Hall of Heroes for the fantasy set. I only received one science fiction, as I don't usually play that version. As I said earlier, the companions did come in a couple months earlier, and I had time to paint a few and prime all of them. I have not finished all of them, and I am in no way a master painter. However, just to show you an example of what 2 of them look like, this was the science fiction turtle. And this was the fantasy turtle. The sculpts on these are really good, and the amount of detail that they've managed to get into these are wonderful. The items themselves do come on spurs, so there is a lot to put together. As far as the companions go, because I don't think I'm going to cover these too in depth since I'm not finished with them yet. For the most part, they are excellent sculpts. They came with a lot of fun characters, a lot of ones that I will wind up using in my campaign. It came with 3 mimics. It came with a vending machine for the sci-fi, which I thought was pretty cool. That is this guy right here. It came with a safe, which I honestly feel kind of fits into both of them, which is this guy here. And then it also came with the normal chest, which is a really decent sculpt. I really like the scale of this. It fits very well. The original plastic for the minis was a tan color that you can see here on this unpainted cat. And the rest of the product I have not painted. So the walls and the add-ons all came in a dark gray color, and the plastic is actually wonderful. The only downside that I have to these minis is certain minis I felt could have used a little bit more definition for fur. Like I said, I am not a master painter, and it would have been nice to have had that extra definition for fur so that I could pull off simple dry brushing and washing to get a little bit better of an effect on it. But overall, the amount of detail on them, this was the science fiction bear that they had done. The detail is really good on them. The quality is really good. I wouldn't say you could abuse these, but you could definitely, I have dropped these on the floor from table height and not had much damage. The rooms themselves, the differences between them. This was, you had 2 in the core set, 2 different small ones. One has the grate, one doesn't have the grate. And it's split, I believe it was 12 and 11 on that. The difference between the other ones, here is a short floor from the Hall of Heroes. Here is a long wall from the Hall of Heroes. All of these are, the walls are all double-sided, so you get 2 different versions of the wall that you can flip between. The torture chamber floor is somewhat similar to the core base and blends in very well with it. And the walls, the one side you have skeletons, and the other side you have coffins. You also have tiny holes in every wall. It came with little add-ons for it where you could put lanterns and some other little tidbits into it, shields and things like that. And then the warlock chamber. This is the short floor, and then on the side of the walls you have bookcases where you have a pentagram. As far as the modular system goes, the walls are nice and thin. The scale of them is really good. The sculpt in them, the amount of detail, there is a strong part of me that wants to paint these, and there's another part of me that doesn't want to start because I will never stop. The only 2 downsides that I have to the setup right now, they've already spoken about fixing one of in their next Dungeons and Lasers 2, which will be starting on, I believe, August 25th of 2020. Is that the walls, I would like to see some half walls. It is great to be able to put in a full dungeon, but when you're doing tight encounters, it gets a little hard to see the minis. I am lucky that I have a indented table, so my players can look down from just about any angle quite easily, but it would have been nice to have a short wall option, which they are doing in the next release. The other complaint that I have is the number of termination clips that they supplied. I've not seen anybody who has been able to actually build a full dungeon without running out of these. I wish they would have supplied more of these. They supplied more than enough of these. I've been playing with it for about 2 months now, and I have broken one of these. While disassembling, it snapped at a stress point in here. As far as cleaning up, there was not a whole lot of cleaning that I had to do. There were not a lot of mold lines. There was no more than any other mini that I would have purchased. So I am really happy with that. The quality has been really good. Along with the core set, companions, and expansion rooms, you also got stretch goals, which came with things like altars and thrones and statues and candlesticks of very good quality. They will be launching Dungeons and Lasers 2 on August 25th on Kickstarter. I do not know what the pricing is. I do know that they will be doing a Dwarven Mine, a cathedral, and a sci-fi cathedral, along with 7-inch dragons. I've seen some of the sculpts for them, and they are beautiful. I would definitely check them out. You can find a link to their Dungeons and Lasers page down in the description below for more information on that Kickstarter. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will try to get to them as best I can. Thank you.